We have a record of amount of Americans who are leaving the USA to have a better quality of life. And they are moving to all sorts of different countries, whether this be Thailand, Indonesia, whether this be Philippines, or all sorts of like Southeast Asian or South American or Eastern European nations, just because the cost of living there is a lot more affordable. And whenever you look at the income that we're making in America, it's not keeping up with the cost of living here in the States. So it seems like a lot of people are finding it to be more affordable elsewhere by bringing American income where our dollars actually matter still. Because if you guys look at the United States, I don't care what the Bureau of Labor Statistics says. That's just for great politician talking points. We all know your average Joe working fast food, call center, whatever job you can get at this time because it's so difficult to get one. Most people are making like $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And if you live anywhere in the United States, you know that your average one bedroom place is pretty close to $2,000 a month. So you're not getting by here unless you have credit card debt, you have a partner, you have parents that you're living with. And even then, you're still barely getting by paycheck to paycheck, especially because you have all these other bills on top of your rent or your mortgage, your car bills, your utilities, food, gas, car, and the list just goes on, right? Especially if you have kids. So I've been noticing this huge trend, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. Kind of give you guys some wisdom and knowledge of where people are moving to and why. So there's a lot of different countries we can move to. And the reason I say that is because people are basically getting remote jobs that allow them to travel anywhere around the world. And I will say, unfortunately, a lot of work from home jobs during, a specific time period a few years ago have caught on to the fact that people have been doing this. So some jobs, they would consider themselves work from home, but they're not remote. And that's the distinction that I've learned recently. So you have to look for remote jobs, not work from home jobs. Work from home jobs, I'll tell you the difference, is that they'll let you work from home and a specific home address. So let's say they tell you, you got to live in Charlotte, South Carolina. Well, you're not going to be able to move even to another city or state without the permission. Now, if you have a remote job, you're able to travel anywhere around the world. You can go to Kentucky, you can go to California, Hawaii, you can go to Japan, wherever it is you want to go. And that is what you're looking for. You're wanting a job that's flexible. And I honestly don't care if the job only pays you $2,000 a month, because the countries I will give you guys, that's the equivalent of making $10,000 a month. Okay? A second method that I see people use oftenly is utilizing their degree, if you have one, and getting a job in another country where your career is in high demand. For example, if you're an English teacher, you can go to China or you can go to Singapore, and they're teaching people, they're helping people make $10,000 a month. And, it's actually insane thinking about it, that you can make $10K a month being a teacher when teachers are so severely underpaid here in these States, which is kind of crazy to me. But not only do they pay you that much money, they'll also pay for your bills. They'll pay for your utilities. They'll pay for your rent. They'll pay for your food. Sometimes, not all the time, the food, but they'll also pay for your rent and your utilities all the time. And so it's like you get to cover your family's bills, plus you're making 5-10K a month at least, living in China and Singapore, lower cost of living. And so that's what a lot of people are doing right now. It's kind of crazy thinking about it, but that's the whole economy that we're in. So the main places that I see people kind of traveling to would be somewhere in Asia, like somewhere Southeast Asia. I think those are like the main countries, like, Thailand. That's a big one. Everyone loves Thailand. Thailand's a really fun place, guys. You don't have to like all the lady boys and the weird action that goes on there, because I know I personally don't. Married man with kids coming, that's not my scene. But there is a very beautiful, nice element of Thailand that's very beautiful. It's very naturistic. It's affordable. What I also like about Thailand as a top number one option is that it really is the best of all worlds. So depending on the person you are, you can have a great time there. Whether you're someone that likes to party and, that's your thing, or you're someone that likes to, be a family man, go out with family, friends, loved ones. That's also a really great decision too, because they have really good food. I'm going to tell you guys, I'm not even joking. They have like the most delicious food throughout all of Asia. So I'd consider Thailand as a number one spot because the food is good. It's very diverse as well too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've been to a bunch of different Asian countries, and out of all of them, the least racism I've received was definitely from Thailand. I don't think I've had one racist encounter there in Thailand. They're very, very nice people, guys. They're very friendly to different people of different backgrounds, guys. They're still a country that kind of respects America. They don't look down on us, which is really cool because whenever you go there, you kind of get that like special treatment in a way. And this isn't like, I don't know how you guys perceive that. Some people are like, oh, I don't want attention, but it's attention in a good way. Trust me, you don't want to go to a country where everyone hates you because you're American. So I really do love that part about Thailand. They love you because you're American. They love the diversity. They love that you're not from there. They love that you're visiting their country. Yeah, it's a really good country overall. They're very friendly too. Another thing you have to think of, and I'm going to be real with you guys, especially if you guys are American, you have to think of a country that I would say is either an ally with the United States of America or that is America friendly. Because what you don't want to do is move to Russia, move to China maybe even, or Iran or something like that. Just an example. I know those are some extreme exaggerations, but you don't want to move to like a very anti-friendly American country, because you see what can happen, and I've seen it happen before, is if you move to an anti-American country and you want to come back, let's just say it might not be a pretty experience for you, And another aspect too is the country itself might not be the most receiving of you. And so there's a lot of factors like that to consider. And that's why a lot of people, I feel like, have gone to Southeast Asian countries, because they're very open and receptive towards Americans. They love us and they love our money as well, because our money goes a long way over there. So yeah, I would definitely say Thailand is the top option. A lot of fun things to do. There's the countryside, there's the city, very affordable. You want to live bougie, you could do that. You want to live affordable, you could do that too. You want to do family friendly stuff, you want to do the nightlife thing, whatever your thing is, there's literally a cup of tea for everybody there. I think that's why people love it so much. Next on the list, I would definitely have to say is Vietnam. A lot of people are going to Vietnam, and the only reason I say that is because out of all of them, I would say Vietnam is pretty close to Thailand, but I would say it's definitely a little bit cheaper. Now here's one thing you're going to learn whenever you look at different countries is Philippines and Vietnam will be cheaper in separate things. Like, I remember whenever I'll give you an example. When I was in Thailand versus the Philippines, I remember that Thailand, even though it was a more expensive, more developed country, in certain areas would be cheaper than the Philippines. So if I'm not mistaken, from what I remember in Philippines, they'll have like cheaper, I think it was like cheaper food than Thailand. But then Thailand will have like cheaper rent than the Philippines. And so it's like I was spending around the same amount either country, might as well go to Thailand in my opinion, because I liked how much more affordable it was, right? So that's just like my opinion on it. But yeah, so those countries are like kind of like where you're going to want to go to. Another place though I do see is Vietnam, because I think overall they are the cheapest out of all three of them. Like, that's the cheapest of the cheapest, but it's still somewhat popular with nomads. So that's definitely a place you would want to go to. Now, if Southeast Asia isn't really a thing and you want to go to South America, I think that's also a really great choice. There are definitely some undervalued options. I would say if you're going to South America, I think Ecuador would be a really great option. It's like, guys, it's literally an undercover hidden gem Peru, and it's so much more affordable. So yeah, Ecuador is pretty cool too. I've also seen a lot of people, they like to go to Mexico. Another place too would of course be places like, Brazil and things like that. It can be very affordable. The food is very delicious, of course, South America. And there's a lot of opportunities there as well if you speak Spanish. But the issue is this right here. Whenever you go to places like Mexico, no, a lot of people don't like to say it because it's not politically correct, but I've been there to Mexico. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, it is sketchy. I don't care who you are, what you think you are, who you think you know. It is sketchy in Mexico. I mean, just everything you do there, like whether you're going to the hotel, whether you're going to, I don't know, your excursions, you're going out, whatever it is you're doing, going out to eat, you want to go to the pool, it is sketchy. You're going to see a bunch of military police everywhere, especially in the touristy areas. You're going to see those, you know, sketchy cartel type members. You're going to see them, guys. Like, this is real life in Mexico. So don't think that you're going to go to Mexico and you're going to be in La La Land. You're going to be at this nice 5-star resort and that's it. No, it's going to be sketchy. So if that's not really your cup of tea, if you're looking for a safer environment, definitely do not go there. And that's just real life, guys, because I'm always seeing these like white girls named Emily, like, oh my gosh, people are so racist towards Mexico. And it's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. Mexico just is not safe. No, it's not. So yeah, guys, those are a few places that I've noticed that people like to go to. Honestly, my top 3 recommendations from personal experience, guys, for anybody, and these are just the places I've gone to so far. I would say Ecuador, Thailand, and depending if you like, you know, Asia or South America more, I'd go with either Peru or Philippines as my third option. But definitely top 2 would be Ecuador and Thailand, in both Asia and both South America, because they offer the best of both worlds. And that's honestly, that's just my preference. I prefer a second world country because with second world countries, you can go both first world or third world. And that's honestly the best part about it, because you're not stuck third world if you want to go first world. You're not stuck first world prices if you want to go broke or cheaper, affordable third world prices. But yeah, I'd love to hear your opinions below. Have you guys moved to other countries? Do you guys know anybody? What countries would you guys recommend and why? I'd love to hear your opinions below. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share, because a lot more people need to know that just because we live in America and the economy is bad, they need to know that we have other options.